Greetings! It is a glorious morning in South Dakota today. The heat spell is broken. We've got a beautiful blue sky, a nice breeze, and the temperature is about 78 degrees at 11 a.m. Wonderful, wonderful day, but it feels like autumn's on the way, and that means it's almost time to get back to school. So I'm going to open up a presentation in OpenOffice and tell it to show us the slideshow. This class is HTML, or the Hypertext Markup Language. It's a preparatory course for the professional certification in HTML. The World Wide Web Consortium, that agency that governs everything on the web, is also the agency that certifies webmasters and web programmers. And we're going to get you ready to start becoming certified. The very first step, the first thing that you have to do is to be certified in HTML. Everything else builds off of that. So, this is the place to begin. Your next question is probably, well, what do I need to begin learning HTML? What tools do I need? And fortunately, it's very simple. You will need a text editor. If you are on a PC running Windows, Notepad was installed on your computer at the factory. It is part of Windows. Look in your accessories folder and you'll find Notepad there. That is a simple text editor, or what we often call an ASCII text editor. ASCII stands for simply the American Standard Code for Information Interchange. ASCII. ASCII. What that means is that there is no extra characters or control codes added to your file when you save it. It is just pure, simple text. Word processors embed invisible control codes into their files that are useful in formatting them to make them attractive and to tell printers how to print out in the right fonts. They are not intended to be web pages, so you need that simple text editor. Now, if you're on a Mac, you don't have Notepad, but you've got something just as good. Simple Text. It was installed on your computer at the factory. There are lots and lots of other text editors that you can download off of the web for free or very little money. But you probably don't need to go out and do that. However, I do have my preference, and that is a product called Text Wrangler. Text Wrangler is a text editor designed for programmers. It has some knowledge about various programming languages. And so I go to Text Wrangler and I want to do some HTML. I tell it I'm doing HTML. And then as I'm typing, it looks for those keywords that mean something to HTML, and it displays those in a different color. So it kind of gives me a spiffed up appearance that makes it easier for me to take a look at those keywords and identify them if I'm looking for a problem in my program. So that's my preference. And that's what I'll use. And my web pages, or excuse me, my source code that I write, my HTML, will be a little bit easier for you to follow in our later examples because of it. But you certainly do not need to use it. You can if you like. By the way, Text Wrangler works on Macs. The second tool that you need is a web browser. Now, good news. You've got a web browser. I know you've got a web browser because you've come to this class through the World Wide Web. And you can only get to this class by using a web browser. If you're on a PC running Windows, you probably used Internet Explorer because that's part of the software installed by the factory. If you're on a Mac, you probably use Safari. Again, Apple installs Safari on all of their computers. There are lots of other web browsers that you can use. Two of my favorites are Firefox and Google Chrome. But it doesn't matter which one you use for now. You've got the web browser. Now, we will write our web pages in our text editor, and we'll test those web pages in our web browser. So we'll see what they look like during the process of creating the web page. Eventually, you'll have web pages that you will want to make available to the World Wide Web. You will need to put those out onto a web server, and the way that you do that is through an FTP client. You may already have one on your computer. If you don't, when the time comes, I will show you how to get an FTP client and install it on your computer. Now, FTP is a term you should know. It stands for File Transfer Protocol. If you're interested in Text Wrangler and using Text Wrangler, you can download it at the website www.barebones.com. I hope this helped. Let's get started writing HTML. I will see you later.